From junior high through high school, I had a poster opposite my bed that was a drawing of Snoopy, the Peanuts character, on a surfboard. The poster said one word, Cowabunga. I just thought it was really cute. Little did I know that this poster would sum up a way of life. No, I've never actually surfed, not literally, but metaphorically, absolutely. When you're young, you imagine, or at least I did, that you can control your life. If you make good, solid choices, then things will go smoothly for you. Then the years go by and you gradually realize, well, that's a total sham. Wrenches are thrown into plans. The unforeseen falls into your path. Surprises here, surprises there, twists and turns and detours in the road of life. There's a lot we don't see coming. After my divorce, I got a paperweight from a friend which had a picture of a surfer catching a big wave and the word Cowabunga written on it. It was kind of a private joke. I had talked about life being like ocean waves that just come at us, out of our control. All that's in our power to do is ride them out, to keep our balance, to stay standing. How do we do that? Interestingly, I found actual surfboarding tips on Google that seemed eerily relevant to this metaphor of surfing the unpredictable waves of life. A few of those online surfing tips. Don't let the fear of wiping out rule your mind. Focus on standing up. If you lean too far to the left or too far to the right, you will fall off your board. Aim to focus at your core and not on thinking about your feet. Focusing on your core helps you maintain your balance. All good advice. Keeping ourselves whole, well, and balanced through the unstable waves and constant changes that life brings is a concern for every one of us. There is a term used in the scientific community for how we accomplish this goal. It is allostasis. Allostasis is defined as finding stability by changing. Ironically, our bodies can only stay in a state of balanced wellness by consistently changing, adapting to a range of environments and circumstances. The brain can only stay healthy by constantly rewiring itself. A healthy body, a healthy mind, a healthy spirit, according to the scientific model of allostasis, requires not resisting changes, but accepting them, incorporating them, and moving forward to a new normal. We are entering a new Jewish year, looking ahead at striving to be our best selves. Looking ahead at a year and a world that will inevitably be changing, shifting, bringing waves and choppy waters. That's just life. We can't control that. How can we remain centered, balanced, maintain who we are? I'll draw from those online tips about successful surfing. Focus on your core. Physically, your core is the central part of your body. Thinking more broadly and philosophically, your core is made up of the values you hold that guide your words and your actions and your choices, little and big, that you make on a daily basis. Values are also at the core of Judaism. The Jewish values that remain constant and have not changed in over 2,500 years. Of course, times have changed, cultures have changed, science and technology and knowledge has all changed. Nations have risen and fallen, generations have come and gone, but the traditional values that have helped guide us as we have navigated through all of it remain solid. What are those core values that have guided our people through the choppy seas, the formidable waves of history, and have kept us standing? Well, the one that appears more times than any other in the Torah is, "Do not oppress the stranger, for you know the feelings of a stranger, having been strangers in the land of Egypt." The Torah connects our responsibility to the stranger to our responsibility to all who are vulnerable. We read, "When you reap the harvest in your field and you overlook a sheaf in the field, don't turn back to get it. It shall be left for the stranger, the fatherless, the widow." We read of many ways that we must take personal and communal responsibility for the well-being of others, those we know and those we don't know. We read in the very beginning of the first book of the Torah, Genesis, that this world and its bounty is good, that human beings are responsible for being stewards of our planet, guarding it and keeping it safe. And we read that every human being is created in the image of God. These are only a few of the ancient Torah values that guide us as Jews, and particularly as Reform Jews, an expression of Judaism that is a values-based approach to Jewish life. More on that tomorrow. So that's a little ad for tomorrow morning. Like the Jewish tradition, you too are at your core a set of values. What is central to you in how you want to interact with others, to interact with family, with friends, with members of your community, with coworkers, business associates, and strangers? How do you want to make others feel? How do you want to feel about yourself and the legacy that you will leave this world? How do you want to go through your life? When I was finishing rabbinical school, one of my job interviews was for an assistant position at a large congregation in Northern California. At one point, they asked me, "What are your 5 and 10-year plans? What do you see yourself doing a decade from now?" I responded, "Whatever I'm doing, my plan is to be living the values that are important to me. My plan is to be doing something that moves us toward a more just and respectful world for everyone, because that is what the core of who I am and what I value." I think they actually wanted to hear about my motivation to climb the rabbinic corporate ladder or something like that. I was not offered the job, which is totally fine. Not my kind of congregation. But if anyone asked me that question today, 35 years of life experience later, I would say something very similar. My plan for the future is to strive to be living my values. I can't control what comes down the pike. None of us can. But each of us can know the values that lie at the core of who we are. And we can live those values through any and all waves that we will need to ride. And it is our values that will keep us standing. we talk during the High Holy Day season of making teshuvah, a word that's actually often translated as repentance. In fact, the name of our High Holy Day prayer books in English say Gates of Repentance, but it's the word teshuvah. So teshuvah is from the Hebrew word that means turning, making amends, making teshuvah, turning back to the path that we really want to be on, that is good for us to be on, is similar to surfing. It requires a series of small turns and adjustments and adaptations because one moment, whether we like it or not, is not like the next. Staying stable by moving, by adjusting, by adapting to circumstances while maintaining what is truly important to you. The scientific world calls this allostasis. I call it Cowabunga. Judaism calls it making teshuvah. No matter what you choose to call it, may you center yourself in this season of self-reflection, of change, of looking with hope and self-awareness to the year ahead on what really matters to you, how you want to live your life, how you would like to be remembered, and use that as your core. May it keep you balanced and standing through whatever waves may lie ahead. May you ride the waves of 5784 with confidence and joy. Cowabunga.